With the recent Euro 2021 game, we saw several security breaches endangering both fans and police alike. When talked to about the event, the security team claimed it was like nothing they'd ever seen before. As a security company, this is an opportunity for us to learn from the weaknesses of this event and make sure to figure out how to prevent them in the future. Let's dive right in. My name is Jake Evans with the Region Security Guarding channel here on YouTube. I want to send a special shout out to everyone in our subscriber community. I want to thank you for taking a part of your day to be here. If you're not part of that community yet, just click that little red subscribe button. It's free and you'll never miss a video. With England's recent loss in the Euro 2021 recently, fans took it upon themselves to act out both before and after the game, endangering both security and police personnel alike. With plenty of horrific videos of fans storming the stadium, it's clear to see that when it comes to events of this caliber, the appropriate security needs to be in place. Supposedly, throughout the event, 49 individuals were arrested for various offences and 19 police officers were sadly injured. Football hooliganism, as it's known, has its roots way back to the 1880s, with documentation from the early 1960s to say that England had a worldwide reputation for it. The phenomenon was so bad it was actually dubbed the English disease. There are plenty of cases across history of people causing general uproar and panic around large-scale football events, and so it's no different with the Euro 2021. Security realistically at events are designed less so as impenetrable walls to stop trespassers getting in, and more so as personnel, staff on site that are there to make sure everyone gets where they need to be. Now, whilst that isn't necessarily the case for every security position, for the most part, most of the security guards on site will kind of deal in more of an organizational fashion rather than a physical one. However, for an event such as this one, security needs to be incredibly tight, with communication avenues being solid just in case any issues arise. Wembley Stadium has 3 entrances, meaning there needs to be ample security systems on all 3. That doesn't just mean security guards, but it means any other kind of security element. By this I mean NFC readers to instantly check tickets, metal detectors to make sure you don't have any illegal or illicit items on you, electronic gates to allow you to come in or out with said tickets, and anything else kind of around that. There also needs to be some reasonable expectations in place. In a lot of the videos, there was a lot of unreasonable demand for the security team to handle. As they stated afterwards, they'd never seen anything like that, showing that it was a pretty unprecedented event. Some of the scenes caused by the football match were horrendous, and no one could accurately predict what was actually going to occur that day. Security is expensive, and so the managers at Wembley had to make the educated guess as to what they felt was appropriate and making sure they had the proper security infrastructure in place. Serious adaptations need to be made in order to prevent these kinds of issues from arising. With it now being explicitly clear just how much of an issue can arise from these types of events, there needs to be stopgaps put in place. One of the adaptations that needs to be put in place is evacuation protocols. There are elderly people and children who are a part of these events. They're just there to watch the game and they could very easily get hurt. Making sure there are specific plans in place for these types of people to get out in case of any kind of uproar is essential in order to make sure that the most amount of people remain unharmed. There was also a pitch invader who managed to get onto the pitch and run around. This not only led to players being endangered potentially, but it also could have caused a bit of mob mentality, could have caused other people to run onto the pitch and cause a riot, as has been shown in the past. Having more security elements around the pitch side itself would be important for that type of thing, more bodyguards, more things like that, in order to prevent people from even getting onto the pitch in the first place. There's also another very, very serious threat when it comes to huge scale events like this, and that's terrorism. Whilst it is a much more dire topic, terrorism is something you have to take into consideration when there's an event with so many people packed into such a small area. The ability for a terrorist to cause mass damage in such a short time period is unparalleled in places like this. This is no doubt something that the security team were very aware of and something that they were keeping an eye out for. Things like making sure there are any checks for illegal or illicit items, like we discussed with the metal detectors earlier, need to be in place in order to stop these things from happening. Now, in this case, there weren't any issues pertaining to this, but you do have to make sure that you act proactively instead of reactively when it comes to this type of stuff, making sure to put systems and infrastructures in place beforehand, before they can even get a chance to have a try. But that being said, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment and consider subscribing if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next week.